Alright, back for round 1. Definitely want to play first, and that hand is... Oh, Fortune's Favor does give a bit of card advantage, so having too many lands is not the worst. I think I'm gonna keep that. It's not good though. It's not good, but it's not bad. And at least I can cast anything in my hand, which is a plus, I guess, a bonus, if you will. If I draw a few early creatures, it's gonna be really decent. Gone Missing is a spell, so I don't mind that, but it's a 5-drop. It's fine though. I mean, when when I have a fairly heavy on land hand, I don't really mind drawing some 5-mana spells, obviously. Cathar is not really blocking the Constrictor. I guess I could block and force my opponent to discard. I'm not sure how good this would be though. They might even want to discard. It depends. I think I'll just take 2 and try to swing back and hope they don't have a good 3-drop to block, which they might not have. Patrol, okay, well I'd much rather block the Patrol if they let me do so next turn. Drawing an island was pretty bad, but yeah, not much I can do. So let's say they have a Rimvol, I go down to 13. Yeah, I would... Yeah, this is not super good tempo-wise for me, but I kept a hand fairly weak to aggressive start, and my opponent's my opponent's start is not like super aggressive, but it's aggressive enough to put me in a pretty bad spot. I'm not sure why they are playing Ghost of Liliana. That card is just like, unless you really need a filler, it's just not good. It's just not good. But here it was, I guess, decent. But you should probably not play that. Okay, so let's Fortune's Favor. I guess, unless I get something better, I might just go missing the Patrol, take 2 more from the Constrictor, and, you know, we'll see after that. Okay, that's interesting, because the Face of Pile is pretty good. I think I'll just go with the pile I know is... Because this is good, this sets me up to go missing that thing next turn, and afterwards I can Fox plus Reserve, and that gives me some really solid block. There might be some insane cards here that might also be a bait, I don't really know, but the 2 cards here are good enough that I want them. And there was yeah, this pile was much better than the other one. That's good for me. Press for answer. Does that card change my plans? I think it does change my plan. I think now I like playing the Fox, pressing for answer the Patrol, and intend to block the Constrictor, and they have to discard 2 cards if they want to save it, or, you know, use a Rimvol. Worst case scenario, they have a Tooth Collector here. I think that's the worst thing that could happen, but there's not a whole lot I can do about that. That being said, it's an uncommon from a pack that's only drafted once, so I don't think it's... I mean, it could happen, but... and we haven't seen any Tooth Collector yet, so... We'll see. If they discard 2 cards, even if those cards are land, I think it's fine. They did not attack, which I guess is good news for me. They might play a 5-drop, which I'm likely to go missing. Well, Watcher in the Web, I don't actually care too much about that. Might just Spectral Reserve plus draw a card of my clue now. Next turn I can go missing plus draw a card. Or... yeah, that's fine. I will probably double block with my Spirit and the Patrol. If they have a trick, they have a trick, whatever. It'd be interesting if they attack with everything, though. Yeah, I'll trade my Spirit. Like, my Spirits are not gonna do much against a Watcher in the Web anyway. I'm fine making that trade. If the opponent allows me to do it. If my opponent had not cast the Watcher, I would be more conservative with my 1/1 tokens, I think, but here it doesn't seem worth it. Another Patrol, okay, fine. Hopefully this is not a land. Okay, okay. Sure. I guess we'll go missing the patrol. My opponent doesn't seem to want to attack with Watcher in the web anyway, so... This gives me card advantage, but if I continue to draw lands, getting a bit of card advantage will not really put me back in. Like, I got card advantage of Fortune's Favor, I got card advantage of Gone Missing, but I was on the play and I'm drawing a bit too many lands, so it's not really good enough. And apparently my opponent has cards in hand they care about, otherwise they would have attacked with Constrictor a bit earlier on. Interesting that they are attacking now and not... They want to make the trade. Okay, well, I'm fine making that trade. I just hope I don't draw land here. Grief Boon. Ugh, that's not very good. It's not bad, but it's not really good either. I've been drawing a bit too many lands to be comfortable with this game. I might as well Grief Boon, it doesn't cost me much anyway, I have a bunch of mana. And it's only bad if they have a pacifism effect, but having one more power could really be good. Like, let's say my opponent has something like Confront the Unknown in hand, it makes the block and patrol much more efficient. But if my opponent has Force Spell in hand, which I think they do since they did not play any land yet and they did not discard anything to the Constrictor, I'm gonna lose because 5 land plus 9 spell is gonna beat 5 spell plus 9 lands. Though I guess now it's actually 10 lands. Yeah, that's quite a lot. Oh well. What are they casting? What's happening right now? Why are there two for... Okay, they are... Eldritch Evolution, okay. If you sack something as good as a patrol, it's not really worth it, I would say, but who knows, maybe they have some nice thing to fetch. Bagon Bishop, okay, that's probably good enough, that card is just very solid, and I don't have any removal that can get it off the table, which is also bad. So now my opponent has a fairly good way to win some sort of card advantage war that I'm already losing because of those damn lands. Yeah, and now they drew their removal too. Okay. I guess my choking restraints are actually exiling right away now, so there is that. But it looks like my deck is not cooperating with me at all. Forgotten Creation means I'm not dead, but means I'm not in a great spot either. I mean, I'm dead if they have a removal, that's for sure. Nothing I can do about that, though. Alright, at least if I survive this turn, this will give me 2 free cards, which are not so likely to be lands now that I've drawn pretty much all of them. Maybe I should have kept another land in hand. Yes, I want to use the ability. Okay, 3 spells. And 1 spell that gain me life. I mean, give me life. Okay, I still have to deal with the bishop. But that was quite solid. It was pretty solid indeed. Like, if my opponent has 2 irrelevant spells in hand or 2 lands, maybe I have a way to come back in this game. So now I guess I can choose to remove that from the game in response, but if they do so, they give me back the Grief Boon, which is probably not something they want. So, yeah, I think we are doing fine. If we get Mm. I messed up my mana. I messed up my mana. I have a 3-band Inspector in my deck, which I'm likely to get here, and I should have double white available. I did not get anything, so it will not matter, but still. Okay, at least I put 2 lands on the bottom, which means that since I have 10 lands here, 3 in my graveyard, 2 on the bottom, there are only 2 lands on the top 12 cards, on the top 12 cards of my library. That's decent. Killing my opponent might be hard though. Yeah, I don't have any good attack. Oh well. Such is life. The bishop is really an issue, but yeah, another card of the bishop now. And my opponent has Delirium. No, they don't. Okay. I think at that point they got enough card advantage that even if I Choking Restraint that next turn, it's not really gonna be good enough. But hopefully I will still be able to Choking Restraint that. I have 2 Choking Restraint on the top 10 cards of my deck. And Substantiate. That's solid, especially since the opponent doesn't have a it doesn't have the double white available now. So what I can set up is an attack with everything. Let's say they make no blocks, then I die, so it's probably not the right move. Let's attack with Forgotten Creation now and see what the opponent wants to do about that. Hopefully they trade, that's the best case scenario. Or they try to block with the spider. They might just take 3 though. We'll see what happens. Either way, I'm using Unsubstantiate right now so they don't have the possibility to use the double white to get rid of my thing. Okay, that's fine. Now, do I want to use Strength of Arms? I don't even think so. I don't really need that anymore. And yeah, I'd rather keep that as a potential surprise for later on. Okay, let's bound that back to my hand, recast it, and I have quite a bunch of flyer. Next turn I'll be able to build a 4/4 flyer, and now it feels like I might come back in the game. Like if my opponent continues to draw some 3-drop, it's gonna be hard, 3 or 2 or 1-drop I guess, but otherwise I have a nice little offense going on here. Everything went fine here. And I think you'd rather have Strength of Arm into your hand than a 3/3 that just doesn't do much in this board. Because the Strength of Arm can help me attack through the spider, which is likely gonna be quite important later on. Okay, probably some fat green creature. Or a Rise from the grave here. Okay, interesting stuff. So I guess saving that might have been better. They probably have 2 lands in hand though, which is a good news. They will be able to get rid of those lands though. Now I have a tough choice between killing this and killing the creation. This is good once. Bishop is gonna good all game. It's also a flyer, a better body. I think it's the card I should kill. Right, and I'm gonna kill that right now. Also, well, I don't have any other bounce spell in my deck, but this is a creature that I own. Yeah, let's exile that thing. Now, is there any attack that's worth making? I guess the Outrider can attack, and then if they block with the Spider, it's a nice strength of arm for me, because then it leaves my other flyer attack. If they take 3, it's good too. Yeah, sure. That's probably not the best block they can make. I mean, I think you either take 3 or block with everything, but double blocking doesn't make much sense, I think, here. Oh well. If I can get rid of the Spider, it's great. If they have no, they just have 6. So now I got rid of the flyer, and I actually have 9 power of flyer due to the Grief Boon in my graveyard. My opponent has 3 new cards in hand, but I might be able to raise them. I'm not very likely to draw lands, which is also good. This Constrictor is annoying, I guess. Not a whole lot I can do about that, though. Thraben Inspector. Okay. Let's see what this can give me. Certainly don't mind having another blocker for Rathrat or another target for Grief Boon. Attacking with the Emissary of the Sleepless is quite safe. Yeah, I think I'll just attack with that. And I guess the Courageous Outrider. And then play a Facebearer Paladin. I did not forget about the Grief Boon in my graveyard. It just feels like I'd rather cast Paladin, and I'd rather put my thing on a Paladin anyway. My opponent is chump blocking here. Okay, that's quite interesting. Like, they are at 20, so it feels like a weird move to make. Oh well, I don't mind that. I don't mind such move anyway. Biting Rain. Okay, that makes sense. That's fine. That's pretty good for the opponent. It's certainly not a card I would but it's kind of bad because they have to discard another card to make their Constrictor leave. I guess it's fine. All in all, it's fine because they discarded another card to make sure the Constrictor left. So I don't think it's the worst, actually. And next turn I'll have a 4/4 flyer lifelink, which should be good, unless they top deck something, which would be bad. Bloodbriar doesn't accomplish a whole lot. Ooh, Collective Effort. That card is solid, to say the least. So let's boon the Paladin up. Now, can I do something relevant with Collective Effort? Not really. I can kill Oath of Liliana, which doesn't do anything. I cannot destroy any of my creature. I can put some creatures on some counter on my creature, but then I tap out, which is pretty bad. Do I want to attack with that too? And put my opponent on a slightly better clock? Probably not yet. I don't feel like I need to try to make any raise going on here. And I'm gonna keep Collective Effort for a potential... Well, first it can give me a kill. Like, next turn, if I can put my opponent down to 10, then I Collective Effort, and I force them to chump block after that. Then, keeping the option to kill a potential big creature they could play here is quite relevant. I'm not gonna play around a top-decked pump spell here. Like, if they had attack with everything, I would have just blocked. Okay, Lone Rider. Well, you probably want to play that before your attack. Well, I guess it doesn't even matter. So I guess I should have attack first. But... yeah, that's not really... that doesn't really change anything. Like, if they had drone removal, they would have used it anyways. Do I still want to keep that? Or do I want to run that? Put a counter on everything? I don't know. It feels like the only way I can lose this game is if my opponent plays something like Bruna the Fading Light and has a gigantic flyer that I cannot deal with. Otherwise, given what I have, I don't think it's very likely that anything other than a big creature can put my opponent back in the game. They just conceded. I guess, like, even if they, let's say they have the mythic Wrath of God that puts an angel. Even if they have that, I'd rather keep collective effort to get rid of the angel afterwards and not die. But we got it. Kind of drew too many lands early on, but then I finally catch the opponent card advantage wise, which was nice. Okay, sweet. Things worked out fairly decently. So it's just a Nabzan mid-range deck with a Bygone Bishop, which is threatening. Biting Rain, which I guess is good to know about, but it's not a great card in general. I guess if you have two Noose Constrictor... Well, it's not great with Noose Constrictor, because you have to discard another card, otherwise you kill your own Constrictor. And my opponent just disconnected, so maybe they will not even come back. We'll see. Either way, let's sideboard. My opponent showed Choking Restraints, but other than that, not many artifact or enchantment. You don't really want a Cleansing a Terrarian or an Oath of Liliana, so I don't think this is coming in. The sentries are actually decent against Biting Rain, I guess. So maybe that's something. Broadgrace is very good against Biting Rain, I guess. Everything else is garbage. I'm not playing black. None of the blue cards are good. So now, are there cards that are bad against Biting Rain? I guess I don't really want to cut all my 2-drops anyway. I guess Nibilis is fairly weak to Biting Rain. So maybe in this matchup I want a Sentry over a Nibilis of Dusk, especially on the draw where Nibilis is not the best. Probably don't want to change both. This makes me slightly less weak to Biting Rain, I guess. Broadgrace is probably another fine way to deal with that. Maybe on the draw I'd rather have Broadgrace over Fortune's Favor, because I will already have a bit of card advantage of my draw. Who knows? I mean, I don't think I should side around Biting Rain anyway. It's not a really good card anyway, especially if you know about it. It's interesting though. Probably got a bit better. No, not even sure. Who knows? I think I'll go with that for now. I could see some other changes being even better, but I think it's fine. Makes me slightly less weak to Biting Rain, and okay, that's a fine keep. What was I trying to say? Okay, a 1-drop, a Loam Dryad. Okay, well, I don't really mind my opponents playing a Loam Dryad. I think that card is just quite bad. Yeah, again, I think the Sentry is slightly better on this matchup on the draw. I'm not even sure about that, but maybe. Who knows? Forgotten Creation is a nice protection against flooding out, which is nice. Yeah, that card... Most of the time when I played that card, I actually had a bunch of good cards, so it felt kind of weak, but the fact that it gives you such a good protection against flood is just... makes the card actually much better than it looks like, I think. Even if you are not... Obviously, if you have a bunch of Madness cards, it's better, but even in a non-Madness deck. Loam Dryad stacking. Collective Effort. Well, that's not looking good. It doesn't even allow that thing to flip. If it was an instant speed card, I would use it to, you know, kill if they block, but here I think I should just pass the turn. I take a bit of damage, but not like thousands of damage. They might even tap out with the Loam Dryad and the Foul Blood to play a 5-drop. That might die to the Collective Effort. So I think all in all, waiting is not the worst. And yeah, we'll see. If they tap out for a 5-drop, I'm just happy. especially if it's a Watcher in the Web. Especially if it is the Watcher of the said web. What I just said probably did not mean much, but who cares? At least I don't care right now. Okay, well, Strength of Arm would have been good here, but I don't mind playing the Fox and 2 lands on the bottom of my library. And now I have a fairly slight blocker that might get Choking Restrained, I guess. Or murdered, who knows. But yeah, the board is quite stable. And I mean, the more creatures I can put onto the battlefield, the better collective effort is gonna be. Slayer's Plate is an issue. I'm not gonna try to lie to you about that. It is definitely an issue. What does happen if I attack with Lone Rider or Outrider? It's just block with a Spider and nothing happens. Yeah. I guess the move is probably to play Forgotten Creation, take a big hit from that, then on my turn kill the creature they equipped, plus boost all my creatures. Something along those lines. I guess it might be Emissary of the Sleepless, though they have a spider, so the body doesn't even... I mean, the flying ability doesn't even matter that much. Yeah, it's probably just the creation. I will not discard, though my hand is really solid. Alright, let's pass the turn. I have 12 minutes left to play this game and the last one, potentially, so I have probably to play a bit faster, but... Plate is not the worst as long as they don't have any human. And they might want to equip the Watcher in the Web so they have some sort of toughness. Because if they equip Foul Blood, I can double block. I don't... yeah, double blocking is not great for me though. Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, so Slayer's Plate is annoying, but it becomes really annoying when the opponent has a bunch of human. Or, well, if they can continue to cast creature, it's gonna be troublesome. Like, Slayer's Plate plus Bygone Bishop is a combo that's probably gonna cost me the game in the long run. And it's not gonna be something I can race easily anyway, so this could be troublesome. Otherwise, I don't think... Okay, Woodland Patrol is quite good with the plate, but again, that's quite in the realm of things I can beat. No, I don't want to use the effect. Choking Restraints. Okay, well, removal is good against that. I might want to I could restrain the Watcher in the Web, and then I have some decent attacks. And keep unsubstantiate back for when they equip and try to attack with something. Yeah, I can restrain that, attack with Outrider, pass the turn with unsubstantiate in the back. And then the reason why I'm not attacking with creation is that I might wanna be able to attack with creation next turn. Then they are likely to accept the trade, and then I can get a token of Emissary, which is really nice, especially now that the spider is gone. So I think we'll make that move. Yeah, Choking Restraints was a fine card to draw here. I mean, it's always a good card, but here it was particularly nice tempo-wise. So I guess I will equip the Patrol and beat down. And I'm fine with that because I have my unsubstantiate, and I can make my opponent lose a really large amount of tempo here, and I will not deprive myself from doing so. I guess I might as well double block and see if they want to do something. I don't lose much by doing that. Okay, they don't want to do anything, so I guess we'll bounce that thing before damage. I don't really want to make the trade. I guess this move is bad if you don't want to make the trade and they could potentially have a counterspell, but here they cannot really have a counterspell or a turn aside. I guess they could have turn aside, but you know, from an absent deck, that doesn't seem very likely. Alright, and if they randomly have a pump spell that they want to use because they think they can get you and keep their creature, that's good. This is a kind of play I tend not to make, but actually that's really good, I think. And that you should think about, because you have basically a free opportunity to get value, so why would you not take it? So we are beating down this time with those two, and I think the opponent is likely to make a trade this time, which gives us the emissary trigger. I did not did it last turn because I want my creatures to die this turn and not last turn, but this trade was bound to happen basically. And now I'm gonna play the emissary. I might want to keep my... It's... Well, actually my creation died, so I guess there's no point in keeping that. Because next turn I might want to be able to collective effort plus Fortune's Favor if I draw land. But this was a pretty good sequence of events, and yeah, I like how this is going. I'm taking 7 here, but you know, sometimes you have to take some hits. So far I don't mind how this game is going. Next turn I can get rid of that, pump my old squad, beat down for 5 in the air, make this 2/2 first strike lifelink, which is nice. Maybe Fortune's Favor if I draw land. If I don't draw land, it's also good. So yeah, I like that. I like that. Ooh, evolution on the spider. Probably, yeah, I don't know. Maybe the bishop is the best thing they can get. Maybe they have some really fat thing to get. No, they got the bishop, which doesn't even surprise me a whole lot. Gone missing. I will give them a spirit here, which is annoying, I guess. Huh. This might make Gone Missing a better play. But Gone Missing this and give them a trigger of the bishop is really bad. I think I should just collective effort. Okay, so we will be escalating. We want to destroy that and put a counter. Destroy this, put a counter on myself, and I have to tap a creature, which is gonna be the spirit that cannot attack, or maybe the Lone Rider that cannot attack either. This way I can keep my spirit back to block their spirit. Yeah, that sounds about right. So now they don't have any good block for these two, and yeah, that's fine. My opponent has, like, the combo of Flare's Blade plus Bishop is really annoying to face. They have really a good card advantage and some fat creatures, but I'm starting to have assembled a good tempo advantage. I have a really solid board. I have a Gone Missing for the Bishop next turn. My opponent might be forced to chump with their Spirit. I have a 4/5. You know, the 2/2 first strike lifelink is not irrelevant. I don't know. It feels like it's not going too bad, despite my opponent playing some really solid cards. I'm not even sure they can afford to attack with the bishop here. And putting that in defense when I have Gone Missing is just really bad for them. And yeah, they did not attack. That's great for me. So now those two can attack. This can also attack actually. So I gain 2 life. It's pretty free. And yeah, am I missing something? Like if my opponent double blocks here, I'm fine. Am I fine making that trade? Like if they double block here, it means they have to chump here with their spirit, which means they are dead next turn. They kind of have to chump block here, which means they don't really have any good block here. Yeah, I think it's fine. Yeah, again, if... Oh, they just... Okay. Alright, well that's That's interesting. Like the game is not over. My opponent is under a pretty huge tempo disadvantage, but they can. It's quite hard to come back though. I will admit that. Probably just conceded here, and I don't think this was a misclick or anything. Either way, I hope you enjoyed that first round, and see you for the next one.